Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, September 22nd, 2025. Let's take a look at the chart. Start with the big picture. A couple of weeks ago, we settled above that 361.30 2.5-year channel top after testing it a number of times since early May and falling away even substantially at one point as we continued into June. We did close above it 2 weeks ago. That set off a long-term buy signal that does anticipate the 523.57 5-year channel top as what I've been describing as a 5 to 8 month objective. But the vertical move and the high volatility we find ourselves in could see 523.57 sooner than that, possibly much sooner than that. My indication for much sooner than that would be a settlement in the coming weeks above this intermediate rising channel top that is projected off the April low. And so the 458.82 level is actually considered, at one point it was called a 2 to 3 month objective, and now it's more like possibly 2 to 3 weeks. We're 2 weeks into it. Might we test 458.82 this week? Its equivalent on the daily chart is 451.19. And my answer to that is yes. If we close today above 426.67, which is, these are wave counts based on recent activity. I can show that here in a moment. But if we close today above 426.67, I think 451.19 is likely by Friday's close. There's your 3 to 5 day swing trade to the upside. So if you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader and we close above 426.67, it is go long into the low to upper 450s, 451.19 rising daily, and closes in on its weekly equivalent at 458.82 later in the week. It is a range of resistance that may well contain buying through October, and from here we can fall away, perhaps all the way back into the 350s, 360s within, with present volatility, you could say within 3 to 5 weeks. It could also take 2 or 3 months with a contraction in volatility and a more sort of normalized give and take dynamic. But the point I was making a moment ago is that if we were to then also close Friday above 458.82, that 523.57 5 to 8 month target then likely to be realized within 5 to 8 weeks or less, possibly within 3 to 5 weeks. We could potentially see 523.57 by the end of November. But I do think you need to respect the 450s, 458.82 as an area where this market can grow tired, exhausted, and fall away for a number of weeks following that test. The 450s are considered a kind of a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week objective anyway above this 397.29 channel top, which we also settled above 2 days after the buy signal initially above 361.30 on the daily chart. So we quickly entered a secondary buy signal following the primary long-term buy signal above 361.30. 2 days later, we entered another buy signal that has anticipated 451.19 as a realistic 2 to 3 week target. We're a little less than 2 weeks into that right now. So yes, if we close today above 426.67, 451.19 in reach by the end of the week, and this is a solid zone if you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader to sell, actually reverse and go short. And if you're a 3 to 5 week swing trader, I think it is the 450s, 451.19 to 458.82, where you can take profits on a long position and play the short side, anticipating over the following 2 to 3 weeks a fall back to the 397.29 channel top. That's a 2 to 3 week swing trade to the downside, and kind of a 1 to 2 month swing trade to the downside would be selling 451.19 and anticipating the lower 360s, perhaps. Now, there would be no clarified signal that would say we're absolutely anticipating 361.30. That would come into play if we were to then also close below 397.29. But I think you can play 451.19 as a short sale to channel support then, which is in the 340s now and climbing, and will be in the 360s within a month and a half, which is why I say if you sell the 450s, you can anticipate the 360s within a matter of a month or two. And this is kind of the illustration that I want to show. Once again, closing above 458.82, no good reason to be short Tesla. As we continue into October, November, 523.57 in reach. That 5-year channel top is significant and can contain buying, well into 26.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
These are your wave counts, 426.11, 426.67, based on the April low against that May high and the June low, or is this also a May low? It may well be. So these are swing trade point counts. We don't show the math here, but it's very simple math, and I'm just not going to go into it right now. We've been topping out in that area, the 426 handle resistance, for the last week. We've yet to close above it, and if we don't, just know that you can play the short side, as we've been saying. 3 to 5 day swing traders can play the short side down to 416.18. That could actually be an intraday or a day trade here. If you wanted to play the short side on weakness rather than selling strength in the 426 handle, that would come with a violation today of 416.18. Closing today below 416.18 does set up the 397.29 channel top as a 1 to 3 day target depending on volatility. 397.29 is properly weighted as a 3-star weekly support, able to contain selling on a weekly basis, and from here we can round up into the 450s within 2 to 3 to 5 weeks. It would be a settlement below 397.29, which is not going to happen today. That would then signal a return to 361.30, which is the channel top on the weekly chart here that we settled above a couple of weeks ago, and it lines up well right now with 362.20, which is a newly formed rising 1/3 speed line based on the April low against that high from last week. This is a zone that can contain selling through the rest of the year, and from here we can round up again. I think I've said it all. I'm going to leave it at that for Monday's Daily Tesla Report. You have a great day.